إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستهديه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهدي الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له شهادة عبده وابن عبده وابن أمته ومن لا غنى به طرفة عين عن رحمته وأصلي وأسلم على خير هاد محمد بن عبد الله صلى الله عليه وسلم بلغ الرسالة وأدى الأمانة ونصح الأمة فكشف الله به الغمة وجاهد في الله حق جهاده حتى أتاه اليقين يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما أما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كلام الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار عباد الله أوصي نفسي وإياكم بتقوى الله وأن نقدم لأنفسنا أعمالا تبيض وجوهنا يوم نلقى الله يوم لا ينفع مال ولا بنون إلا من أتى الله بقلب سليم. All praises be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the King of the world, the Master of the Day of Judgment. I bear witness no one is worthy of worship but Him subhanahu wa ta'ala, and I bear witness that His Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is the final and the greatest messenger and the seal of the prophets, was sent to mankind to bring them out of the darknesses of this world to the light of this world and the hereafter, and from the injustices of religions to the justice of Al-Islam. قال تعالى إن الدين عند الله الإسلام. Truly the religion in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the religion of Islam. I remind myself before you to fear Allah, and that we begin doing actions which will brighten our faces on the day we meet Allah. On a day He describes it subhanahu wa ta'ala where wealth and children will not benefit except he who comes to Allah with a pure heart. يقول الله عز وجل في سورة البقرة بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ولتجدنهم أحرص الناس على حياة ومن الذين أشركوا يود أحدهم لو يعمر 1000 سنة وما هو بمزحزحه من العذاب أن يعمر والله بصير بما يعملون. In this ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes the state of the majority of people. Although in this ayah specifically regarding to the children of Israel or Bani Israel, the Jewish nation, but in reality it sums up everyone with small exception. He says, Azza wa Jal, and you will surely find people so concerned with life, so concerned with being alive. And here we see that the word haya does not have al in front of it, meaning it does not have the life, it's just any life. To show you that the concern of most people is not, I want to stay alive because I'm leading this productive life, or I want to stay alive because I have so many goals and ambitions that I'm working towards, or I want to stay alive because I know my purpose and I want to fulfill it. No, here the idea that Allah illustrates for us is people are only concerned with just staying alive. Doesn't matter what they're living for. It doesn't matter if they're healthy. It doesn't matter if they're wealthy. It doesn't matter if they're worshiping God. It doesn't matter if they have family or friends. None of that matters. The concern is, I need to stay alive. With coronavirus, this has been absolutely exemplified. We see since 2019, the end of it, or the beginning of 2020, everyone from the media to our own individual circles, they talk about one thing. either protecting ourselves from the coronavirus, either treating the coronavirus, or vaccinating from the coronavirus. And it's all to do what? When you summarize all of these things, it's to do what? It's to protect your physical life. This is all it's been. These masks we wear and this shield in front of me, it's all to do one thing, to protect our physical bodies. But when you look at it, when was the last time you heard anyone come and start talking about morality? When was it you heard someone talk about the spiritual body? We never hear these things. It's all about the physical. You know, when the vaccine was first introduced, who were the only people allowed to get it, if you remember? It was the very elderly in the nursing homes. The ones who I myself was vaccinating, over 80 years old, cannot speak, cannot feed themselves. Why were we vaccinating them? To protect life, to make it extend a little bit longer. Is there a quality of life there? No, it doesn't matter. Not to say we shouldn't have or should have, that's not the point. The idea is the society we live in and the world we live in is concerned more with the physical than the spiritual, than the moral. This is the reality. And in our circumstance here in America, it's extremely, extremely important to be aware of that. If I ask you, and this is, I found interesting, but if I ask you what percent of this country is Muslim, and as the Khatib, I'm giving you permission to answer. Does anyone know? 3%. 3%. Close but wrong. 1.1%. That means out of every 10 people, 9 are not Muslims. So now the question I have for you is, do you think this environment where we make up 1%, do you think it's an environment that will cater to our needs? That will cater to our goals and our ambitions? Do you think a society where 99% have very little, if any, concern with Al-Akhirah, any concern with God, any concern with heaven and hell, do you think that society is going to be conducive to your child's upbringing? Or conducive to your peace of mind when it comes to your relationship with Allah? You don't need to be smart to answer. Obviously no. Yet, for whatever reason, we treat this dunya and we treat this environment we live in as if it has our best concerns just because they let us come to Friday and pray. Just because they let us build masajid and pray. How much time do we spend in the masajid? Even if you come 5 prayers, which no one does in America that I know. Even if you come to the 5 prayers and you're here during Ramadan all night, how much does that amount to over the course of a year? Over the course of a lifetime? Minimum. What's out there is much more impactful than what's in here in terms of time. So when the society is made for the 99% and we're the 1%, we have to be aware of that. We have to treat it as such. But to think that our children somehow have people looking after for them and looking out for them in schools, are looking out for them in the universities, no, brothers. That's why the moral compass, for example, as I always like to say, in this society, although they assume it's fine, to us Muslims and our principles, it's absolutely corrupted. This moral compass, they call it, meaning telling you what's right and what's wrong. Absolutely corrupted. Yet we're allowing non-Muslims and educators to teach our children this moral compass. We all know that in the school systems, the things that they assume or they claim are okay, we know a lot of it goes against our deen, goes against the core of our aqidah. And for them, they're not going to change. Because for them, they're the 99%. We're the 1%. So we need to take that as a responsibility and we need to take that seriously. So back to the original ayah, I mentioned that Allah says you will find most people concerned with just staying alive. Meaning their concerns do not pass this. And now, to tie this into our current situation, we all ask ourselves, what is our concern? Because we obviously don't want to be amongst this group. who the only concern is to stay alive. We can all agree on that. So what is our concern? And there's a general concern every Muslim should have. But then on an individual level, everyone has their own concern. The father should have different concerns than the one who's not a father. And the one who's married has different concerns than the single. And the one who's in charge of a masjid, different concerns than the one who just comes to pray. But we need to prioritize our concerns. This dunya, whether you're Muslim or not Muslim, won't stop. It won't slow down. Your job, most likely, you will have to do until you retire. Whether it's the exact job or something else, you will have to work till 65. You go to school, you will have to finish, and then you will have to go find a job. And the cycle just continues. You will have to put in your 10 or 8 to 10 hours a day. You will have to get married and children and so on and so forth. None of these things are going to slow down. You don't get to pause at 25 or 26 until you catch up and then proceed with your age. You have to take control of the situation. The world, the way it is now, might be like this until you die. And even if it changes back to before coronavirus, what's really changed? Some of us work from home and some don't. But in reality, our responsibilities stayed the same. Nothing got much easier for our deen. Nothing got easier for our children. So you and I have to take charge and take responsibility of the situation. What is my concern beyond the general concern every Muslim should have? Which is to establish La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. Which is to pray the 5. Which is to do the wajibat. All of that is the general concern. But besides that, what is our concern? School started last week, but before that, during the summer months, the masajid were still empty of the youth. For example, where are the concern there? Or where is the concern there? The school systems now are absolutely being forced to introduce certain things that go against our deen. Are we concerned? Or are we just hoping for the best? And this is not some, cry to send all your kids to Islamic school. No. I just left an Islamic school 4 hours ago. I was there to see what's going on. And I had students complain to me to the side of bullying, complain to me of hitting, of abuse, of many, many things that we apparently are taking and saving our kids from the public school system. But the idea is, are you concerned that your child is getting the best and the attention they need? You as a father, you as a husband, you as a business owner, are you doing right? What is our concern, brothers? This is the main point of today's khutbah. Because as I said, the world does not stop. You all have so many things on your mind, I'm sure. And there's a very good chance, the second we all walk out this door, within or by the time we turn on the ignition, most of this is gone. Most of this is gone. Why? Because how can 30 minutes once a week compare to 24 hours every day? How? It does not work. It takes practice and it takes you taking responsibility, you being in charge of the situation. In my current job, where I am, you have people who have been with this company for many, many years. And because of the way this capitalistic system is designed to just keep draining the employees as much as possible, they're leaving. And it's to the point where entire pharmacies have to stay closed. This dunya is not going to get any easier, unfortunately. This system where they treat employees like slaves, not going to change anytime soon. They have so much money that now it's a challenge who can get to space first and who can make it a ride for the public. This is how much money they've been able to squeeze out of us. It's not going to change. So ask yourself, is this what I need to be concerned with, or will this help me when I meet Allah? Will the fact that I am willing to dedicate all my energy and all my resources to this company and neglect my salah and wait until I get home to pray my 5, is this worth it when I meet Allah? So they can have another spaceship, or they can make it to Mars or wherever they want to go. We're 1%, brothers and sisters. No one is going to do us any favors. Just because they let you come to the masjid and just because we're allowed to open masajid is not a favor. How much of the masjid is even utilized these days? No one is going to do us any favors, nothing is going to change. We have to take responsibility. We have to make that action. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make it easier for us. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the tawfiq to view the things that need to be changed in our hands, and to know the things that we have to leave up to Him subhanahu wa ta'ala. قولوا قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم وصلى الله على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما. الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله وأصلي وأسلم على خير هاد محمد بن عبد الله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. أحبتي في الله, the idea of this khutbah and the point I'd like to get across is not about putting anyone down, is not about exposing our shortcomings, but it's a reality check. Right? Checks and balances, like they say. We have to be real with each other. We have to realize that we are behind the 8 ball, as they say, living in this country. I mean, you ask anyone who lives in a Muslim country and they will complain of similar things. And they're all Muslim for the most part. They complain that the masajid are closed only for prayer time. They complain that there are no circles of knowledge. They complain that work is getting more demanding. They complain of money. They complain of everything. And that entire environment is supposed to be nurturing to the Muslim aqeedah. For us here, we have to realize we are behind the 8 ball. And we need to take that extra initiative to put ourselves and our families and communities in the best position to succeed. What is it you envision your life, the culmination of your life being? When you pass away, when you return to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as it should be said, what do you envision? I don't want to say your, what's the word I'm looking for? Your legacy. No, legacy is a big word. But what do you envision people mentioning you and talking about you? What do you think you will leave behind? Like, what is it you hope to leave behind? Not talking about wealth or even knowledge or anything like that. But when you return to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what is it you hope to have achieved? Because you're all intelligent and you've been through the khutbah and you know the cliche statement that no one takes anything with them. We know this. But no one takes anything with them. But what are you leaving behind? What is it you hope to have accomplished? Do you hope to have accomplished raising children who will make dua for you, for example? Because I promise you, last I checked, public school system doesn't have a class like that. That's not part of their curriculum. Make dua for your father and mother when they pass. Are you hoping to have accomplished and achieved that you did your best to teach your family how to worship Allah? Are you hoping to accomplish that your family and your children will be on La ilaha illallah even after you go? Are you hoping to have contributed to your community in some way? Or is your concern only what you have for yourself? Is our concern only, I hope to have achieved this material thing and that material? You have to ask yourself. No one can answer that for you. But back to the original comment and the original point. This entire system, this entire world, unfortunately, but definitely our society, will not help you accomplish any of those. You know who will help you accomplish that after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? The people around you. That's it. Your Muslim brothers and sisters, that's it. Because you're the only ones who have the same goal. You think the Jeff Bezos of the world, or even the lower level employees, you think this is on their mind? The Jeff Bezos want to reach the space, and the lower levels just want to pay rent. No one has time to be concerned with Al-Ihsaan. This is the society we live in. The only people who can help you accomplish the things I mentioned and whatever your own goals for Al-Akhirah are the people around you, your Muslim brothers and sisters. That's it. What is your concern? What do you want to accomplish when you return to Allah? What do you want to accomplish when you meet your Lord subhanahu wa ta'ala? And like I said, everyone will have different things. The father will have different things, the mother will have different things, the son, the student, the business owner, the imam, everyone has different things. But to think anyone out there is going to help you, no way. No way. Brothers, the reason there's such an attack on deen, you hear a lot of people say an attack on Islam, and that's true now. That's true now, because Islam and Muslims are the only ones who they've yet to get to. But there was an attack on every deen from before. Why? Because religion in general teach you to divorce the world, if it's a religion from Allah. These other things they call religions, I don't know. But the religions from Allah, they teach you to divorce the dunya. And that is absolutely in contrast to what the capitalist mindset wants for you. Capitalist mindset wants you to keep running after the dunya. Keep running after that overtime. Keep running after that paycheck. So they want to destroy religion one at a time. And they've destroyed all of them. This idea of separation from church and state that they were able to accomplish, why? Sure, the church was absolutely corrupt, but it's for people to have two brains, as they say. One brain, okay, this is my time for my Lord, and the other brain, this is just my time for the dunya. And slowly the dunya, because it dominates our day, because 23, 24 hours out of the day is dunya, slowly it overtakes. For Muslims, they've yet to be able to get to us, but they're working hard. They're working hard. The Muslim countries now, and I just returned from a couple of Muslim countries, you can't tell the difference. Whether it's because tourism, whether it's because whatever, but even the masajid, they're only open for brief moments for prayer. That's it. No circles of knowledge. My nephew is there, 14 or 15, and he was in a summer camp for the masjid. 1 hour or 2 hours a week. So once school started, they changed the program. 30 minutes once a week after Fajr. On a school day. Is this really an attempt to build a generation, to build the youth? But they have so much pressure that they're not even able or allowed to open the masajid. Most of the imams I saw over there in the country I visited, most of the imams didn't have beards, like zero, clean shaved. Not to say, oh, better or worse, but to show you, because they're government employees over there, they have to walk a certain line. They can't even speak out. They can't even do what they want to do in regards to the deen, let alone to regards to their people. This is the type of environment our Muslim countries are dealing with. And they're 99% Muslim. So I think the message is clear, and I think the message has been delivered. And it's a reminder to myself and to you that what's out there is not going to help you, brothers. You have to dictate the relationship you have with out there. You have to dictate the relationship you have with your university, with your employer, with your employees. You have to dictate that relationship, because if anyone dictates it on you, they're probably not going to have the best interest for you. They're not going to have the deen in your interest. You understand? So we ask Allah Azza wa Jal to protect us and benefit us with what we heard. We ask Allah Azza wa Jal to have mercy on our brothers and sisters all over the world. إِنَّ اللَّهَ وَمَلَائِكَتَهُ يُصَلُّونَ عَلَى النَّبِيِّ يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد اللهم اهدنا فيمن هديت وعافنا فيمن عافيت وتولنا فيمن توليت وبارك لنا اللهم فيما أعطيت اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين اللهم انصر إخواننا المستضعفين في مشارق الأرض ومغاربها يا رب العالمين عباد الله إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون اذكروا الله يذكركم وأقيموا الصلاة